Let there be light, and there was light. Words of the said Godmother Eve. If you're joining us for the first time, I am Crimey Queen, and on this channel it's about numerology and scriptural references. And of course, our key figure or representation, element, whatever it is, perhaps we should say our key vibration is Mother Eve. I'm the mother of all living. In fact, I should do a presentation on the mother of all living. And so this is where we get to understand ourselves through scriptural references and numerology. Now, Mother Eve, of course, is a key figure because Mother Eve is the waters that reflects ourselves to us. It's that reflection of that which we are. It's the waters, and so it is the movement. It is the frequency. It's the vibration. It is source in this sense, and that is what speaks to us through that reflection. And there is why Mother Eve is also the said God, the one who speaks. So when we say and God in the beginning was the Word, like in the New Testament. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God, and so on. We are talking about Mother Eve. We are understanding the Word is like waters. It's like someone who's got the ability to speak like from here to eternity, which we do, although we take our breaks in that sense. And we could also say the same happens with words, that the river bank sometimes it does break as well, and so on. So there are the correlations with our words, our ability to speak, the words flow, they've got current, and so on. Likewise is water. But the presentation that I really want to concentrate on today is on the sun. Now, it may seem like a little bit, far-fetched, not necessarily that far from what I have been doing, but it's really that I felt, in fact, it is divine guidance. And before I do this, I must say that when I asked for the divine guidance of what I should do the presentation on today, really I used the tarot cards, and the tarot cards gave me this lovely sun card, and I thought, wow, it seems so pretty and so complete and so radiant. In fact, a surge of feeling came over me, and I could hear myself saying, wow. And it's almost like, am I able to really do a presentation on the sun? I mean, it is so vast, it seems so vast. And then I reminded myself, or I was reminded, that we are everything. We are the sun. We are the the um, the capsule or container or representation of all that there is. And so when I saw this and I was thinking, wow, I was looking at this and I thought, okay, it's the sun. And I had counted before the rods and rays that comes out around this sun, and I think it will perhaps 31 altogether. Well, I don't clearly remember, but it would be interesting. Um, I'm going to do a quick count actually. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21. So it's got 21, which coincides with number 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. And it's the 3 that Mother Eve started her, her spell when she said, let there be light. So the letter L, for instance, like we see here, the letter L has a numerical value of 3. Of course, it comes under the SAC. It's like it consolidates, or it, oh, this is really interesting, because I'm looking at 3 here, which has this L, and I've just counted the rays, which gave me 21, which of course 2 plus 1 is 3. And it also falls under the 9, C and 9. So the 3, 6, 9, the first segment of, or first block of letters and numbers, we form the 369. And we also have 369 here and 369. So we have 3 sets of this 369 numbers here. Why I was a little bit well, not quite surprised, but a little bit startled, in the sense of seeing that it comes under 9. The word sun, I believe, let's just do that. In fact, I'm following this because it's the sun. And we are, since we are the, we people, P-E-O-P-L-E, we as people or person, whenever we are making reference of the word the is that which we are. So the people is like the emphasis of that which we are, or specification of that which we are. The. So the is 285, and when we add this together is 15. So 1 plus 5 is 6. And this is, of course, the said God as well, Mother Eve. S-A-I-D 1194. Adding this together is 10, 14, 15. This is how we have the said God as number 6, 15, as the, which comes right into this column here, the middle spectrum of numbers 1 to, the middle of the spectrum of numbers 1 to 9. So we have 5, and this is where it almost seemed like a pyramid, in a sense that it would be numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is here, and then we have 6, 7, 8, 9. So basically 5 is like the key. Here is why the word key also equals 5, meaning 2, 5, 7. Adding this together, 12, 13, 14, is also 5. But 5 and 6 comes under the same column, the middle spectrum, as we have made the reference as to Mother Eve. Right. And so the sun, let's look at the word sun. So we saw that the word sun has 21 rays, and some of those rays sorry, seem have scallop shapes, and some are rigid. So we had this for the sun. Okay, let's just do this. And so I won't count how many rays we have here. I didn't intend doing a sun when I first started, but there we go. Okay, that's what creativity is about. Okay, so that's the sun. And so the word sun, S-U-N, is 135, and this is 9. So this is why I was a bit startled, of course, at 9, when I noticed, because I know that sun is 9, I noticed that it comes under the 9 spectrum, which is also under the luck spectrum as well. So here we have luck, and we also have the REV for revelation. or the REV for reverend, and so on. So this is why, perhaps that is why there was the sun worshippers, and they reverend the sun, and um, in giving reverence to the sun is acknowledging that reflection of ourselves. So in essence, the sun is a projection of ourselves. Now, what I noticed with the sun, because we had the word son as well in the scriptures, and God gave his only begotten son to die on the cross for our sins and so on. So we read about those texts, or we have been taught of that. So we can see with the nine vibration that the sun contains. Basically, it contains everything here. It contains numbers 1 to 9. So when it says that the sun died for our sins, this is in correlation with the sunset. The sun sets. So another word for setting, although the word set is equals 8. So just thinking of the word die, DIE, which, sorry, we could say also has the constitute the word lie, where the sun goes to sleep, just to make sense of this. So it would be like, instead of the D here, for instance, in this way, we could see that it could contain the word lie, even if we were to write it in the other way. Okay, so and well, let's just do the numerical value. So this is 9 plus 5 is 14, plus 4 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. So here we can see that it holds the same numerical value as the sun. So the sun died. Now, when I got this, for instance, to say, to do this numerical, the presentation on this, as I say, I was thinking like, wow, it's almost like I was tempted to say, well, who am I to be making or having a presentation on the sun? It's as though I need to know so much about the sun and the moon, and how many 1,000 miles it is from Earth, or whatever it is. And yes, it'd be interesting to really explore all those aspects of the sun as well. But just to keep it nice and short, I feel that really when it is said that the sun died to save us, meaning it's like the sun had risen, and again we heard that Christ rose from the dead. So those who, I think everyone knows about the story of Christ's death and resurrection. So we are talking about the sun. We are talking about, which I have also heard it being on the same par as the Kundalini as well. But I'm going with how I am guided to do this. So it is getting into rising up to the sun. The sun equals 9. And if we have the, as in THE, we would have 6, like the word the equals 10, 15. Yes, that's correct. Which also, as I said, comes under the new spectrum in the red, the middle column. And so that is 6. And if we add 6 plus 9, that will give us 15. So it's still the same numerical value here. The sun, adding this together gives us 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. So we can see that 9 is, we are 9 in essence of saying that we have everything. Meaning this is why we need to be conscious of all these journeys that we need to make, the journeys of life and death, the dying of each stage and the resurrection of the next stage. Here we have three segments, and this is why, again, like we see the first word of Mother Eve, which contains the letter L, like let there be light, in where Mother Eve casts her spell, and that also with the spell equals 6. So let there be light, and there was light. Thank you, Mother Eve, because now we're talking about the sun, and I've always said that Mother Eve's teaching, or Christ's teaching, and Mother Eve's spell or teaching or nurturing is really one and the same. So the sun came to die. So we can see that the sun equals 9. And on here, how we also have that the 6, when we have the sun, which is the characteristic of that which we are, because I have learned as well that when I look at something, that it's what I am seeing is a projection of that which I am. So I have seen, like for instance, I have looked very deep at the reflection of my eyes, and now when I'm looking into someone else's eyes at a certain wavelength, so to speak, depending on the vibration that is being between that is individual and myself, the spark that I see in the eye, I know it is not from them, it is from myself. I am seeing a reflection of my template, my iris or template, or that ray, the rays of myself, which I am the sun in this stage, is that which is being reflected. So I can almost say, when I can see the pattern of the rays that I am shooting, this comes from my iris or my eye, for instance, and I know, oh, my eye is prettier than this. In fact, it's let's do things with intention. So this is why. Okay, it's like a fish. All right, so yeah, so this is an eye. But basically that's the point I am making here. And we see that this is really the projection that's what we project out. I really want to do a very nice diagram of my eye now. Okay. So a better one. This is what we are saying. Okay. Well, this is somewhat better. Okay. I'm not so sure, but nevertheless. Okay. So the sun, basically, as I said, not to keep this much longer, it is when we get to number 9, everything is really reflected. It's like a newborn babe. The number 9 is really reflection in this sense. And if when we do the numerical value for the word 9, just to really round this up, NINE, of course, which has the word in here in the middle, that tells us that everything that we project comes from within. So this is 5955. Adding this together is 24. And that coincides or has a direct correlation with let there be light. And there was light. And that comes to 24 when we do the numerical value for this as well. So we can see that 6 is here. As I was saying, 6 is where we add the sun, and of course the word sun is 9 as well, and the sun rises and it dies. So I didn't do a numerical value for the word rise when the sun rises. So rise is 9915. Let's add this together. This is 10 and this is also 24. Wow. Interesting, interesting. So the sun rises, so that's 6. 2 plus 4 is 6. And when it dies, DIE, we have 495. And this is 14, 18. This is 18 is 1 plus 8 is 9. So we have this, and this is how we got 9. So basically, that when it dies, it goes through the motion as the 9 giving birth again. So we can see that the story of Christ, in essence, dying and being risen as in the sacrifice that we have learned about, is really or we could say it's a metaphor for all evolution of dying of certain things that we need to become anew. And likewise, the sun, that which we have projected out, gives us a very classic and very real, I say real, example of what is required of us. So we ought to rise and die again, and that's the cycle that we go through. Thank you for watching. Hope you have found something in this. Please share and subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. Give us a like.